All right, so as I said before, let's just kind of recap what it is that you're going to get a point for, okay? So you get 1 point for solving for 0. I'll expand this in a second. 1 point for identifying A, B, and C. 1 point quad formula. 1 point for solving. I'm going to change that to evaluate. X. And then 1 point for sketching the graph. Okay. So I'm just saying this is what I want for every one of these problems. But what we're going to do today is for problems 8, 9, and 10, we're just going to plug this into the calculator because this is where you guys are going to make the most of your mistakes mathematically. Okay? This is where you're going to make your mistakes. So on the paper, I'm going to give you 5 out of 5 points if you do all these things. But I'm going to show you how to use a calculator on Desmos to kind of check your work. So what we're going to do is solve for 0. That's the first step. Okay? And so I get x squared minus 3x plus, oh wait, no, it's not plus, it'd be minus 4, right? Minus 4 equals 0. Now, why do I do that? Because I want it to look like ax squared plus bx, that's a b, plus c equals 0. So then I need to identify that a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 3, and c is equal to negative 4. Next, you need to identify the formula, which is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all over 2a. Now, this is where you guys are probably going to make your mistakes, just simple math errors. You get in a hurry, you want to hurry up and get the answer, and it's always a negative sign or something silly. All right, so just to help you guys out, what I'm going to do is show you, well, actually, you watch it in video 8. Well, no, let's go through it on this one too. So open up your Chromebooks, open up a tab on Desmos. So we'll just do this. It's in video 8, but I'll show you guys how to do it too for video 9. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this formula and then plug it into Desmos. So what I'd like for you guys to do, and we have to separate it though, so I'm going to say x equals, has everybody got a tab? I'll slow down, I'm kind of excited. Start parentheses. And then you're going to say minus b plus. Now we can't do plus or minus, so we'll have to separate the plus, and then we got to redo it for the minus, okay? So then, now to type in square root, you have to hit SQR, and as soon as I hit the letter T, think of the word square root. As soon as I hit the letter T, it does that. B squared minus 4 times A times C, right cursor, put that in parentheses. Make sure that you have all this in parentheses. If you forget the parentheses, it kind of messes you up when you do the fraction. Then you hit the division symbol, 2a. Now, take your cursor, take your mouse, and highlight everything. Hit Control C, and then go down here and hit Control V, but we're going to change that plus sign to a minus sign. Now it keeps saying, do you want to add the sliders A, B, and C? Hit yes for all. And then I like to have them in alphabetical order, so you just highlight something until you get those 4 arrows, and now I have A, B, C. Okay? Now, when it says A, B, C, also we should probably note, so click on this plus sign. Let's make a little note, and the note is must be AX, and then do the caret symbol 2 plus BX plus C equals 0. In other words, in order to do this formula, we've got to solve our original equation for 0. Okay? We got to do that. We got to do that. And then from there, we can plug in our A, B, and C. All right? So that's what we did here. What's our A term? Our A is 1. Let's plug that in the calculator. Go down to A. It's already set at 1. What's our B term? -3. Go down to B, and if you hit, you could literally enter it in, -3. Okay? Now notice as I start to put the numbers in the formula, it's actually calculating the values for X for me. Okay? Then I'm going to type in C, which is -4. So I just come in here, go down to C, and I'm going to type in -4. All right? And it says that my values are X equals 4 and X equals -1. So we are pretty sure that our values are X equals 4 and X equals -1. But, so now that you know what the answers are, let's plug it in and see. We say X equals -3 plus or minus the square root of b squared, but it's actually -3 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is -4, all over 2 times a, which is 1. So I get X equals 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 plus, what's -4 times -4? 16 all over 2. So that is 3 plus or minus the square root of 25 all over 2, which is 3. What's the square root of 25? 5 over 2. So then we get X equals 3 plus 5 over 2, which is 8 over 2, which is 4. Hey, that worked. And then X equals 3 minus 5 all over 2, which is -2 over 2, which is -1. See how that worked? So that's another way you could double check it. You could double check it. And remember, we've got to sketch the graph. So I can graph this, but I don't really need to because I'm just sketching the graph. Remember what I'm thinking about, and these have all been kind of rigged up. How do I figure out how to sketch the graph? Well, I know that I'm going to plot a point at 4 over here. This point here exists, which is 4, 0, and then this point over here exists, which is -1, 0. But what I do is I look over here and I look at the A term. The A term is positive. So what does that tell me about the graph? It opens up. Oh shoot, this is the hard part. I usually draw the, remember Mr. Adams said the way to cheat is just to do this little thing and then go,